I bought another lathe and I have no idea what it is. Well, it's a lathe, but what brand, make, model, how old it is. So I need some help from the collective internet brain to figure out what I got here. Here's the headstock. It has been converted to a V-belt pulley. The back gearing has been removed. It is running, it's free, and there is no noticeable play, but it's not running all that well. I would expect it to be running more freely. The shock on there is Emco, but I don't think this is an Emco machine. This looks to be much older. There is a mystery knob here, which I was hoping was a spindle lock, but now I'm thinking it might be a holder for the chuck key. There is the lubrication point, and someone has tried to insert grease, which I think is wrong, but what do I know. Moving on to the cross slide and top slide. This lathe has been standing outside for a while, so it's quite rather rusty. I put some oil on the freeways and they're not running too bad. This table is way too light for this machine. Here's the cross and top slide from the other side of the machine. It has an interesting gip. I don't know if you can see it, but it's well, I would say a triangle shaped gip with a flat side where the screw sits, and the locking screw of the adjustment screw sits on. The top side can be adjusted by loosening this bolt in here, but I don't have a spanner that fits it. You need a narrow spanner because there's not much room. I think it has a rather nicely styled tool holder. It's a bit organic looking. There's the tailstock. It has a rather ugly lever instead of a nice wheel. It's more stapled too. It can't be moved side to side. There are no adjustment screws on the side. It could use some lubrication. There's a locking mechanism. It doesn't auto eject, but I think this is not a full length Morse tool. Here's a look at the lathe bed. There is no cross sections of cross bracing whatsoever, because of the way the tailstock, headstock, cross slides are mounted. I think this will be well, quite flexible. It doesn't look that sturdy. Here's the tooling that came with the lathe. There's the extra jaws. There are two drill chocks that have seen better days. That's a shame, because this is actually quite a nice chock. There are those mystery tailstock centers that I don't get. There's one with threading, there's one with a square broach through it, This one looks pretty normal. But this one is kind of weird. Why would you have one with half a center point? I don't get it. And all of them won't auto eject because of their shortness. More staple too. Here's another item that will go into the tailstock. Well, I suspect it will go into the tailstock because this is tapered. And it looks like this can hold a pulley or a wheel. No idea what it's for. Maybe it's a live center for wood turning. Then there is this thing. I believe it's for threading. It says Panzer oft reinigen, clean often. And on the other side it says Fischer Winch. I don't know. I can't read that font. Then there are two of these tool rests for wood turning. Here's another mystery tool. No idea what it's for. Haven't gotten a clue where to use this. Seems to be a holder of some kind because it's adjustable. No idea. Then there is this thing which will fit on the ways. Maybe it's for the wood turning rests, but there's no way to fix them. Then there must be something missing. And then there is this big bar which fits into the headstock back gearing, and I had no idea what they were planning with it or what they were using that for. I will show you. I might need to wire brush it a bit. Unfortunately, the thing is too rusty to push through, but this pin here should engage with this hole here, and it would seat up to there. The bar is almost 85 centimeter long, and it's made of I think four and a bit centimeters solid stock. I have no idea what they were planning with this or what this was used for. Very weird. Center height is 15 centimeters, so that's 6 inches high. That would make it a 12-inch swing. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this thing. I might use the top slide to make a vertical milling attachment for my cheap Chinese lathe. I could try and run it, but this thing with its these extending handles, it's pretty hard to hook up, and you can't put it on a bench and on a table like this. It isn't solid enough, and it's way too high to operate. I'm not sure. We'll see. So if anybody knows who, when and where this thing was made, please put it in the comments. Thanks for watching.